Keep looking to the right-hand side and you will see a building that says Verizon. Look to the right of that building, you'll see a building with a green triangle on top.
Yeah.
That is the Woolworth
Oh, yeah,
building,
indeed.
completed in 1913, Gothic architecture. It was the headquarters of the F.W. Woolworth Corporation. It was the first 99-cent store, but back then it was called the 5 and dime store. Then to the right of that, you'll see a building that's green and gray, it's got squiggly lines in it. That's number 7 Spruce Street. It was designed by famed architect Frank Garrity. It is a city within a building. You'll find a hospital there, a school, supermarkets, stores, offices, and many residences. People could spend months inside this building and never go outside. Keep looking to your right-hand side, and in a moment you're going to see a building with triangles in the facade. That is New York's Freedom Tower. New York's Freedom Tower is 1,776 feet in height to honor the year of this nation's independence. On top of the building you'll see a circular structure. That structure is the observatory. You can go up in this very modern observatory and see far and near great photos of New York City's skyline. Ahead of the boat, you can see a second bridge. That bridge is the Brooklyn Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge was completed in 1886 by the Roebling family. The father, the son, and his wife all worked at different times on this engineering project. The father, Washington Roebling, sadly perished during the early years of the construction of this bridge. He dove too quickly down under one of the pillars of this bridge and passed away from Tay-Sachs disease. It's a pressure disorder. His son took over the construction of the bridge. He too had an accident on the bridge and became paralyzed. So his wife had to complete the project. Her name was Emily Roebling. Emily Roebling is honored as America's very first female engineer. As we pass under the Brooklyn Bridge, look to your left. You will see a barge in the water with a golden canopy. That is the River Cafe. The River Cafe is a great restaurant with wonderful food and great views of the New York City skyline. You'll also see a building with a tower. That little building was once a firehouse. Today it is called the Brooklyn Ice Cream Factory. And nearby that, you'll see another barge with a white canopy. You can listen to concerts there. That is called barge music. You can also see a carousel here. This is Brooklyn Heights and the Brooklyn Promenade. One of the most iconic things to do in New York is to walk over the Brooklyn Bridge. It's free, and it's something that should be on your bucket list. You could walk from City Hall Park over this bridge into Brooklyn Heights, walk along the parklands here in the promenade, and have a great afternoon. Keep looking to the right-hand side of the boat, and as we pass underneath the Brooklyn Bridge, you will see the South Street Seaport. The South Street Seaport is an 11-block historical district where you can visit buildings from the 1800s. You will be transported back in time as you walk down the cobblestone streets in this area. Some of the buildings that you can see here in the harbor were dated back from 1876. One of them there at the corner, right after we pass under the Brooklyn Bridge, with the white outline, was there since 1876, and there's a restaurant there called the Paris Cafe that has been existing in this building since 1876. In a moment, you will see a glass structure on a dock in the harbor. This is Pier 17. On the top of Pier 17 is an amphitheater where you can listen to wonderful concerts. There are many stores as well as restaurants within this building. Once we pass Pier 17, you will see two tall-masted ships. Those ships are part of the historical museum here, and you can visit them. The main street in this area is called Fulton Street. Fulton Street, if you walked along it away from the river, you would reach the 9/11 Memorial, the Freedom Tower, and the Tribute Center. It's just a few short blocks from here. As you walk along Fulton Street, you'll also see a lighthouse. The lighthouse is a monument to honor the Titanic. It was an actual lighthouse that was supposed to guide the Titanic into its dock here in New York City's Bay. Today it is a memorial, as you can see. As we travel along this riverway, in a few moments you will see parkland to the left of the boat. This parkland is Governor's Island. You'll see a white structure very near Governor's Island to the left of the boat. This is a breathing tunnel. It pumps fresh air down under the river to a tunnel underneath this river, the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. This structure was featured in the Spider-Man movies as well as the Men in Black movies. Keep looking to your right-hand side. In a moment you'll see a cream-colored building with different levels, as well as a black and beige building. The windows are all black. Look in between those two buildings and you will see a church. That is Trinity Church. In the graveyard of Trinity Church, Alexander Hamilton and Robert Fulton are both buried. If you were to walk along this street, you would find the New York City Stock Exchange, as well as the Federal Hall Museum. The Federal Hall Museum is where George Washington was inaugurated as the very first president of the United States. You can visit this building and stand in the actual place where George Washington took his oath of office. That street is called Wall Street. It is where the Dutch, the first settlers here, built a wall to protect the city from attacks. Keep looking to the right-hand side of the boat and you'll see a 5-story structure with an orange roof. That was where the very first police station was located. Today it is being refurbished into the New York City Police Museum. You'll also see a glass structure that appears to be climbing on a building. That glass structure is the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Keep looking to the right-hand side and soon you should see the blades of helicopters. That's New York City's main heliport. You can take a sightseeing helicopter ride over Manhattan Island. It's a little expensive, but if it's in your budget, it's something that you will never forget. When the president comes to the city, this is where he will land. When the president comes to the city, they close down this waterway and all the streets nearby for safety and security. In a moment to your right, you'll see an Art Deco style dock with a cream and green colored building. You may see a white boat within its docking area. This is the Governor's Island Ferry Terminal. You can take a ferry from here across the river to the left, Governor's Island.
I'll let you know, girl.
Governor's Island is part of the National Park Service. It belonged to the U.S. military up until the year 2000. At that time, it was given to New York City to reestablish into this beautiful parkland. Most people come to New York City to visit Central Park, but you should visit Governor's Island because you'll have a beautiful view of Manhattan skyline. At the end of the island, you will see a circular building. This is a fort run by the National Park Service. You could take a park ranger tour there and learn more about New York City's history and Governor's Island. Next to the fort, you'll find some white structures. Those are tents. That's New York City's form of camping. But we don't call it camping here, we call it glamping. In order to rent a campsite on Governor's Island, you'll need about $350 a night.
No, that's right. To go
luxurious
to
hotel room. But you'll have all the amenities of a luxurious hotel room.
You could take,
Keep
you
looking
could take the
to your
ferry.
right-hand side, and in a moment you'll see another park. That is Battery Park. In the center of Battery Park is a round structure called Castle Clinton. Castle Clinton is another fort that once protected New York City. Today, it is where you would purchase tickets to go out to see the Statue of Liberty. But a good tip is, The next time, if you choose to come to New York City and choose to visit the Statue of Liberty and actually land on the island, you should purchase your tickets in advance online, because it's the only way that you'll get access to the pedestal or to the crown. Those tickets are limited and they sell very fast. Castle Clinton had many uses throughout New York City's history. It was a fort, an aquarium, a restaurant. Today, it is run by the National Park Service, and you can go on